Welcome to the competition rounds at Quest 2013, organized by City Montessori School, Rajendra Nagar, Campus 1. Biotechnology has made a huge difference in human health care. The tools and techniques of biotechnology have opened up new doors when it comes to researching and learning more about the human body. God, thy name purifies the heart, rejuvenates the mind, and a desire to fulfill yet another day of one's life with selfless courage and fortitude. The School Prayer. Founder-manager of City Montessori School, Dr. Jagdish Gandhi, introduced the eminent guests from the medical fraternity. Chief guest, Professor D.K. Gupta, Vice-Chancellor, King George's Medical University, Lucknow. Invited speaker, Padma Shri Dr. Mahendra Bhandari, MD, MBA, Professor of Urology, Director Clinical Research, Vattikuti Urology Institute, Henry Ford Hospital, CEO, Robotic Surgery Program, Detroit, Michigan. Light is the sign of positivity, hope for a better human society. Everybody gathered for the lamp lighting ceremony along with the judges for the day's competition, Professor A.K. Sharma, Professor Y.K. Sharma, Professor M. Sirajuddin, all from Lucknow University.
Anya, take the new promises of this light back home after you get back. But for the moment,
in his keynote address, Chief Guest Dr. D.K. Gupta updated the gathering on the latest from the field of biotechnology.
Shortcut, but to hard work. Hard work is the key, and you have to take it as the basic principle of your life. If you are studying, study really hard. Be sincere to yourself, to your studies, to your work, to your discipline, to your culture, and that will help you to plan out. And that will keep you on a fast track in one direction rather than allowing you to go astray. And second thing is that professionalism is the key. If you are a student, always imbibe the habit to be a professional. At all levels, it is the professionalism that pays. As a student, what are the qualities? That you should be punctual, you should be disciplined, you should be respectful to your teachers, to your parents, and in turn you get the vibes from your parents and the teachers, and you get their blessings. So your mind is very cool and peaceful, that yes, you are in a very peaceful environment, composed, and you can study in a better way. And this is how we are different from the many schools, either in the country or from overseas, where violence is increasing, and that is a real concern to us. Third thing, as a student, as a professional, always look towards competence, always look towards creativity.
In his keynote address, the invited speaker, Dr. Bhandari, drawing analogy from the latest Bollywood blockbuster Bhag Milkha Bhag, enthused his young audience to exert every human potential for excellence.
आपको तो पता ही है.
Subsequently, he built up his talk on how much can be achieved through biotechnology in serving humanity.
Do you think that choosing medicine for 4 years was a good thing to do? Was it your engine, starting at the point that you can't function, and you had to function, you had to do something? Was that your failure? I don't know, that was just a question.
I did not decide to become a doctor. The credit should go to my mother. But having done that, in the second career, I decided to do business management because during my lifetime, I found most intelligent people I encountered were either the judges of Supreme Court or the business management professors, because there are 21 subjects, and that's why I decided to do.
So there is no true failure. It's just some letdowns or things that...
I myself don't know, but help comes if you are determined. Determination is not that kind of determination which I counsel a lot of students. 1 week they see on TV a successful performance by Dr. Gupta, they want to become cardiac surgeon. Next day they want to become a pilot. You have to set your mind. To set your mind, you have to go through the process of knowing what would give you happiness.
Thank you, sir.
How do you prepare yourself mentally when there is a patient coming in the emergency room and he has a severe accident, and how do you mentally prepare that you have to save that person? That what goes on in the head?
See, the question is very simple. I go back to that Sullenberger's video, and what he said, if you mark those words carefully, he said, I had a very single focus of landing safely. I didn't think of anything else. He didn't think of that he could die. He didn't think of 155 passengers could be dead. He didn't think of any impending inquiry because of this crash. So I think the single thing which will help you is setting a focus. And whenever you have pains like Milkha Singh and all, you think of the focus. And all those would become part of the history.
I'm from Chhattisgarh, India, and I am having the doubt that if the plants are just a carbon copy of their parents, so why the human childs are not like that? It is possible that the human can be also a carbon copy of their parents?
Well, you do inherit some genetic traits. But I personally believe that if for any reason anybody's parents have not done well in education, still you could do well. Because the key is with you. What I said is diligence, hard work, focus, what Dr. Gupta said, and the grit. Grit is the one, not the rosy side of it, even thinking of that, look, and the body tells people, others will say that you haven't slept for 3 days.
Have you ever considered that bio-based economy is the only hope for a better tomorrow? Well, there are always two sides to a coin. Here are the excerpts from the altercation debate for senior students. Enjoy.
In bio-based economy, the action is equal and the opposite reaction is that economy which moves away from damaging reliance on fossil fuel and instead is based on sustainable use of natural resources. The bio-based economy has the potential to replace oil, strengthen the security of food and energy, create green jobs, increase income, and create green growth all at the same time. According to the well-known newspaper, the Times of India article, the National Agriculture Food Biotechnology Institute, NBI, and Bioprocessing Unit, BPU, is to be built at the cost of rupees 380 crore, will be a part of the first agriculture park cluster, begin at the Knowledge City at Mohali. In order to determine which products are environment friendly and which are not, a system needs to be put in place with the parameters for the new market standard and certification. Though there are many potential benefits of the bio-based economy, the future sustainability is at risk if it is not carefully defined and suitable policies are not crafted. A famous scientist, Karen Buenstick, with 60 members on 25th October gathered at Leiden University in Den Haag to discuss the opportunities and the pitfalls of the bio-based economy. A future society that will run completely on the renewable resource, which focused on the PhD sent students' participation from the Dutch ministers and associations. Last but not the least, I would like to say, take pride in how far you have come, have faith in how far biotechnology can go. Thank you.
My question to you is,
You said that it increased the jobs, opportunities and all. Then why is there still unemployment in our society?
The great people, you didn't hear what I said. I said it's being developing, not developed.
So may I answer?
May I?
Yes, yes, please continue if you want to reconfirm.
Yeah, great people, they developed it, but don't you think that the unemployment rate is quite much higher than those which are employed?
But we can take stands. We are taking stands. I'm not saying that we have developed. I'm saying that they are taking steps in that.
So only biotechnology...
Fair enough. The child, you'll have to yield. The next person is on my
Thank you, sir.
left-hand side, please. Yes,
You mentioned about biofuels. Do you know that at present, 90% of biofuels is actually obtained from USA and Brazil? So is it like biotechnology is only about developed countries? What about the developing countries and the sub-Saharan countries, which are still struggling to feed thousands?
It is going to be shortly in India also. There will be no need for getting biofuels from other countries. We are going to produce our renewable resources, which will be beneficial for us only.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, friends. And bio-based economy is the only hope for better tomorrow. Why? Because the disadvantages of traditional fuel-based economy are obvious. Contaminated environment, constantly increased number of vehicles polluting the air, chemical plants releasing harmful substances, oil platforms and derricks affected nearby areas, spreading over petroleum products over kilometers around, completely destroy ecosystem. As a consequence, a restoration is a time-consuming process. The most popular ways to produce energy are not environmentally friendly. Nuclear power stations make completely recycling and utilization of nuclear waste impossible. If an accident happens, they will present enormous danger to nearest territories. Other power plants and reservoirs made for them, and with time they gradually alter the microclimate of surrounding territories. And as for thermoelectric power station, they work on non-reliable sources, make a lot of waste, and what's more, they produce energy which is rather expensive. And summing up, we can point out the problems that need to be solved. Waste utilization, waste to get energy, pollution minimization, environment preservation. So, bio-based economy seems a reasonable solution in the circumstances. Environmentally friendly materials and recycling plants can solve the problem of pollution. To make the process of recycling more effective, different types of rubbish must be collected and recycled separately. Petroleum is widely used to produce a variety of materials. The idea is to find some environmentally friendly material to make plastic from and stop wasting petroleum for that. Biofuel instead of gas and petroleum products is a very good idea. Due to people's concern, a lot of this is being conducted in different countries. Nowadays we have biofuel based on food crops, wood, organic waste and algal. Implementing fundamentally new bio-based technologies present quite a challenge. The whole process from scientists who make researches to sponsors who will invest their money into production and to the consumers who will have to choose between bio-based or fuel-based things. Takes a great amount in the persuasion. The crucial link of this chain is the government, which stimulates science, business, and sets prices and taxes for fuel-based products. So, let's face it, the fuel-based economy leads us to precipice. Bio-based economy will save our planet, the environment, and humanity. And it's up to the government to decide which way it's going to be, fuel-based or bio-based. The decision doesn't have to depend on money alone, but also on human attitude and each other and our home, the Earth. We can either destroy everything or create a new system of existence. If we do care about our future, we have to convince the government that our survival is in bio-based economy. Thank you.
Do you think that by recycling through biotechnology, a country can run and develop?
In the context of better living conditions and favorable means of economy, bio-based economy has undergone but such transcendental growth and developmental research that it has brought a revolution in the field of biotechnology. So friends, here I am to discuss if bio-based economy is the only hope for a better future. And yes, friends, it is indeed the best. Bio-based economy refers to all economic activities derived from scientific and research activities focusing on biotechnology. In other words, on understanding the mechanism and process at genetic and molecular level, its application to the industrial processes. The evolution of bio-based economy has its application to the field of agriculture, health, chemical and energy industries, which is a classic example of bioeconomic activity. A bio-based economy uses the first generation biomass, crops, second generation biomass, crop refuge, and third generation biomass, that is seaweed algae. But what makes bio-based economy so special is that its establishment has been acquired as a sustainable development. Biomass coal that is obtained after the torrefication of ethanol is used as a fuel for energy production or in some other purposes like in skincare products and all. A public good-oriented bioeconomy emphasizes agro-based economy, organic and low-input farming. Yes, friends, organic and low-input farming, which is quite beneficial to farmer. Development of bio-based products results in the more development perspective. Yes, friends, bio-based products offer the most development perspective, combining high market value with medium to low price levels. Bio-based products are hence very useful for us. Biomass coal can be used in reducing the pressure on biomass energy production system, which is quite beneficial. So therefore, friends, in all these ways, when a thing has so many merits, I find it no exaggeration to say that bio-based economy is the only hope for a better future. Thank you.
A bio-based economy. You might visualize brown Swiss cows grazing on lush green fields, flourishing industries, a pollution-free environment, and the human race prospering in a halcyon world. Well, see through my eyes. I see biodiversity being sacrificed for large-scale production, the helpless farmer being exploited, famished men raising riots for land and food, and the economy teetering on the brink of collapse. My view, friends, is not pessimistic, while yours might be a bit too optimistic. Good morning, everyone. I, Simran Khare, stand firmly against the motion that a bio-based economy is the only hope for a better tomorrow. Let me first highlight the risks and restraints of an economy founded on the highly volatile agricultural production. What is most incomprehensible is that in such an era of climate change, erratic rainfall, and increased frequency of droughts and floods, why are we pinning all our hopes on what is most unreliable? Nature. In case of a drought, not only will there be mass starvation, but trade, commerce, and transport would all grind to a halt. Increased pressure on land for fuel and feedstock, along with food and feed, might take a toll on crop diversity, soil fertility, the meager freshwater resources, and lead to proliferation of pests, causing greater economic losses to farmers, who would essentially be hired hands for the all-powerful agribusiness corporations. The fear lingers that the transition to a bioeconomy and the need to feed around 9 million people would transform the world's remaining forests into farmlands. Biofuels, which are considered as a magic potion for all the current problems, actually have a very low energy output. Amusingly enough, producing ethanol from corn requires 29% more energy than the end product itself is capable of generating. Although biofuels may be cleaner to burn, the machinery that produces them has hefty carbon emissions. Hence, the view that they have zero environmental footprint might as well be a mirage. In today's altercation, we are not discussing whether homework should be given to children or not. Here, our economic and planetary well-being are actually at stake. We cannot all become family farmers, growing everything we need, which would reject all that modern society stands for. Time is to shun the myopic view, reduce our energy consumption, and look for other viable alternatives. For a bio-based economy cannot possibly be a silver bullet to redeem us from the present crisis. Thank you.
When you mentioned about biodiversity sacrifice, are you not aware that genetic engineering can help us rather save the animals and plants that are on the verge of extinction?
Thank you so much for your question. My answer to this would be that although genetic engineering might help in a way, what I am talking about is acres and acres of land being devastated for the production of corn crops and soybean crops and whatnot. And in this way, the natural organisms, the natural ecosystem and the ecological balance is being destroyed.
Violent, the unviolent. Harsh, the gentle. Inorganic, the organic. A very good morning and Jai Jagat to respected judges. I stand for the motions. The words that I said before my introduction are an introduction to the differences between the economy that rules today and the economy I am here to talk about. Wikipedia says bioeconomy, bio-based economy, biotechnomy refers to all economic activities derived from scientific and research activities focused on biotechnology, or understanding processes at molecular and genetic level and applying them to the industrial process. Bioeconomy is one of the oldest sectors, but life science and biotechnology are transforming it into one of the newest sectors. World is facing the heat of major challenges today. Roughly a third of world population suffers from malnourishment. 2050 waits for us with a pressure of 9 billion people, and each empty stomach demands food. We must open our eyes to bio-based technology, or it will be as if the Titanic was going down, but the passengers inside were busy watching TV. Recent times have showed that in the coming future, there will be a global rise in prices of raw materials and energy. We need alternatives like biofuels, which will provide energy in the liquid form and will be an alternative for oil and its derivatives. In recent times, there has been great revolution in the medical sector by production of vaccines like Guinea, SCPs, Gumelin, which will keep the employers and employee both fit. After all, a healthy nation means a wealthy nation. Agriculture and technology are the cornerstones of the renewable world. Agriculture enhanced by biotechnology is one big revolution to talk about. We, being the owners of gigantic quantities of agricultural residues, have doors open to other sources of energy without interfering the food chain and the current land use pattern. "It's the economy, stupid," was a phrase widely used during the presidential campaign of Bill Clinton and Bush in 1992. It referred to the notion that Clinton was a better candidate because Bush had not addressed the economy that well. In present time, the expanding bio-based economy demands greater attention and scrutiny. Hence, it's the bioeconomy, stupid. Thank you.
Permission of the chair, firstly I would like to tell you that the Wikipedia is not a credible source at all. It can be easily changed. And now coming to my question, you talked about food lacking. So you basically believe that in the future time, we can get food through deforestation because biofuel requires the extraction of cellulose, for which deforestation has to be done as it requires the cutting of trees.
We talk about better tomorrow because biotechnology and bio-based economy will be a future for better tomorrow. If deforestation is done for biofuel, then my friend, in present time, for n number of cases, deforestation is done. In the coming time, if that n is reduced to 1 for biofuel, will it not be more better?
Just a question from a speaker.
So you are
No, child, I'm afraid I'll have to.
So you basically neglected all the other energy resources, you basically neglected all the other things, and you talked about deforestation being done right here today and replacing it with another energy or with another economy which has deforestation and considering it as a hope for a better tomorrow.
You talk about other sources of energy, then I would like to tell you wind, solar and all these renewable sources of energy, they will never provide us energy in the liquid form, which is the need of present modern man. You need energy in the liquid form to run your cars, your bikes and all other machinery that you need.
Chair and my fellow competitors, I'll make very sure in my speech that bio-based economy is definitely not the only hope for tomorrow. I'll stress on one word, only hope. What's an only hope? An only hope is a last chance. It's our last stand. But I ask you, is bioeconomy our last stand? I don't think so. Going off straight into an example, T-butanol and N-butanol. T-butanol on one side is a fuel additive, while on the other side, N-butanol is a direct fuel. The difference is, if you use T-butanol, you get 15% more engine efficiency. But if you use N-butanol, a direct fuel, you will cut off 15% on engine efficiency. This is what we should understand. We cannot implement a technology that's on the developing stage as something that is going to replace a traditional long system. And what do you believe by known as a strong, stable economy? A strong, stable economy should be based on many aspects. It cannot be just based on a single aspect, such as bioeconomy. We should base it on other technologies as well. I'm not saying that bioeconomy is not a hope. It is a hope, but make sure it is not the only hope. Let's see, we can develop nanotechnology, engineering, and other fields as well. And do you know that you are more radioactive than the dinosaurs are? I bet you didn't know. Simple reason is because of the biomass energy generation. As I said before, it's the world's second largest global warming contributor. Plus, because of the partial combustion of it, there are toxic gases and high concentration of carbon-14 emitted. And my second argument, I make it very clear. What good can a starving boy in Ethiopia do with bioeconomy? Bioeconomy creates a utopian government where rich countries can gain massive profits, such as UK, USA, and Europe. But considering African and Asian countries, it's just a daydream. Because if you take biofuel crops, around 60% of food crops must be transferred to fuel crops. And in this case, a dramatic drop of food crops will cause market prices to be very high. And in other factors, the production of food will be less and people will lead to starvation. And according to Simon Lovera, the executive director of the Global Forest Coalition, said, bio-based economy is a massive effort to privatize nature for corporate profits. So it's very clear. And according to Greenpeace in Netherlands and in RBZ in New York, we can cultivate, maintain, and cut trees unrestrictedly if we allow bio-based economy. So we can see it causes adverse climatic, seasonal, and other weather changes. Plus, it will cause a dramatic imbalance in biodiversity. So I make very clear, even if we did make bioeconomy our only hope.
Subsequently, junior students were busy in their creative best at the collage making competition called Melange on the topic biomedical enhancements. Just a minute for the juniors in the afternoon saw some lighter moments when participants fumbled, rattled through their thoughts on their picked up topic just in a minute.
For not successfully doing our work. As the story of Fox and the Grapes go on, a man is not able to accomplish a task so assigned, he blames it on the people, the situation, the time, and if this is not done, even the God. Let me cite an example. Amitabh Bachchan, known as Mr. Big B, was rejected in air, but he did not give up. He tried and tried till his level best, and now he's the star of the millennium. It is said that success knocks your door only once. But if it does not, you need to go to it and break open it. As Mr. Bhandari said, it is your grit and not any tool which will scale you high up in your life. Thank you and have a great day ahead.
Nature has provided enough to fulfill man's need, but not man's greed. Good afternoon and Jai Hind. My code is QM30 and I am here to speak on the topic, do not count your chickens before they are hatched. Dated 20th July, a newspaper stated that 30% of crops in US are genetically modified. These crops have changes in their genes, but even then, 1 out of every 6 American is food insecure. And you say biotechnology provides food security. Scientists are showing over-enthusiastic approach towards biotechnology. They say that biotechnology, food crops enhance health. But my dear friends, they may also cause allergies which are incurable. That is why I think that no economy can be ever bio-based. Remember, don't count your chickens before they are hatched. So don't think about your future. Thank you.
Effect of 3 M's: money, mobiles, and mobiles. Let's start off with money. The effects of money can be broadly summed up as prosperity. A person who has money prospers. But depending upon your attitude, you can become greedy as well. Let's come up to mobiles. Mobiles affect both teenagers as well as adults. You can be in good relations with your friends. You can worsen them as well. Let's end up with mobiles, which in a layman's term is motorcycle. Let's not have a myopic outlook on today's topic and give it a broader prospect. Mobiles affect transportation, and they therefore make transportation easy. Thank you.
Hunger is the best sauce. Everything takes place specially good when you are hungry because you are so eager to eat it. After our 20 miles of hike, we stopped at a little roadside restaurant. It may have been that they made the most delicious food, or it may have been that the hunger was the best sauce. A hunger belly has no ears. Therefore, whenever we are hungry and we want to achieve anything, there is no one who could stop us from achieving it. Let us take an example of Milkha Singh. In spite of his injurious condition, he broke the national record in 400 meters run. His hunger for victory made him achieve his goal. Then why can't we imbibe that hunger in ourselves? In the conclusion, I would like to say that wanting something is not enough. You must have hunger for it. Thank you.
In our lifespan from birth to death, we come across thousands of opportunities. Some we get through lots of struggles and by crossing many hurdles, and some just jump into our lives by our own luck. Sensible are those who make good use of these opportunities and bear sweet fruits. Remember one thing in life: never lose an opportunity. Work hard, achieve your goal, and success will be at your door. Make use of each and every opportunity efficiently. It may design your world with more opportunities, success, and may prove to make you a better personality. At last, I would like to conclude. Believe in yourself, struggle for your opportunities, and never ever give up upon an opportunity. Thank you and have a nice day.
Look before you leap means that thinking carefully about the possible outcomes before taking any action. Now today, sitting in the auditorium, I was listening to the debate that was going on. Many of my friends have their own different views, but now I would like to express my views on it, that before using biotech in any field, we have to keep the consequences in mind. Another example, that science and technology, when it was discovered, it was boon. But with the pace of time, we come to understand about the ill effects of it. So, at the last of my speech, I would like to conclude that whether it is science or biotech, we must use anything or everything judicially and wisely, so that it must not affect the humanity. That's all. Jai Hind.
My code is QL17 and my topic for today is blood is thicker than water. I would like to tell all of you that blood is always going to be thicker than water. The precious bond which we share with our family is more important and more stronger than any other relationship that we have. But today, in this world, we seem to be forgetting this. Our friends seem to have a greater influence on us than our family. The family which brought up us told us the great virtues and inculcated into us the beautiful virtues. I would like to say this today, that our family is more important to us than anyone else. We can never repay them for all that they have done for us. Our mother, which has brought us into this world, cared for us, loved us all her life, and it is our duty to do that for her the rest of our lives. Thank you.
Camera from CMS Films and Radio Division captured some interesting moments at Manifestation for Seniors when they conjured up interesting PowerPoint presentations on their computers on the given topic in an hour, followed by a 3-minute presentation. Watch on. Founder-manager of City Montessori School, Dr. Jagdish Gandhi, addressing the young audience, encouraged them to use their knowledge as much in the serving of humanity. Here are the excerpts from his speech delivered on the day 1 of the competition round at Quest International 2013.
20th century education has to be different. In place of narrow nationalism, we need to develop a global outlook. We need to develop universal outlook. So this kind of education is the need of the hour. And yesterday, you have seen some programs like the content of education for the 21st century, were discussed at the World Parliament being arranged by the children of this Rajanagar branch yesterday. What kind of education is the need of the hour? It has to be all-embracing. It has to be global. It has to be universal. And then you have seen the World Unity Prayer. In this prayer, you have seen the children holding the flags of all the countries in the world, in their hands. They were saying that we belong to all. There were children who brought out a procession, having the globe in their hands. And they were saying that now the time has come for the whole world, one law. One currency, weights and measure. One economics. One education. One language, along with the mother tongue as well as the national tongue. We need one language. So this was the kind of education we discussed yesterday through our programs, and the children presented the World Unity Prayer.